Hey, it's Jason, ODB, the Lincoln Addict. I wanted to show you a couple of my pieces of artwork here. So this is Smugglers Blues. You guys have seen this if you follow me on social media. Hashtag Project Smugglers Blues. This is the 64 Lincoln Continental I purchased in late 2017 after my father passed away. And man, I wish he was here to see it. He loved seeing these cars and hearing me talk about them. But this is my car. It's going to make a lot of progress this year. I've stacked parts for the past couple years, and it has the Colorado Custom replica wheels and Devious Customs air suspension or kit, and then it's going to have AccuAir on it as well. Rendered by Thor, which his real name is Jake, JM or Jake Meadows. He did this for me. He did my 67, which is JFK ride. Picked that one up in 2009. And there's some updates on it I'm going to share in the future. But he did this one for me a long time ago. I always enjoyed his work. And really appreciate the detail that he put into it. It has the Detroit steel wheels on it there. Custom interior. Now, this is a piece that I picked up at SEMA 2021, and it was done by Nick at Surface Art. Nick is a great guy. He does some very, very cool stuff. And this is a reprint of an original. This one is from Chris Dunlop, I think is how you pronounce it. Pinstripe Chris on Instagram. And apologize for the shadow. This one is number 3 of 200. So he posted this in social media years ago, and I said, man, I wish you would sell a piece like this. And then he, of course, did copies. And I'm a huge fan of his. I just love, because I can't draw anything, I just love how he could take a marker and create that. If I had to guess, like those wheels would be something like the Centerline Smoothies or the Colorado Custom Boulders, but obviously it's just a drawing. It wasn't supposed to be anything specific, my understanding. So Chris is there. You got Nick at Surface Art and Jake Meadows, aka Rendered by Thor. And you can see there he signs the little JM in the bottom right corner underneath the quarter panel, and then Rendered by Thor. This one he signed JM. But he's Rendered by Thor on Instagram, although with his job that he took recently, I'm not sure how often he can get the renderings done because he's pretty booked out. There's a couple of things there I wanted to show you. Now, don't hate me for this. I love Impalas. And this actually, you can just tell there's some water damage or coffee damage. It's just an old ad, which, funny enough, in 2 days, I plan to post this 60 years ago in 2 days, January 6th. This came from a bunch of miscellaneous items I bought at a local meetup. They're starting to kind of do up this way. They've got something that they do every third Sunday, and there's a swap meet. And I bought a bunch of stuff, and the reason why I did is because my dad had his first car, I think, was a 63 Impala hardtop, and I've always loved the 62s and 63s. Now, I'm not going to show everything over here, but some of you guys have seen photos of my cabinet. This is a cabinet from IKEA, and I was recently looking at purchasing another one, and they were sold out locally. But I just have some miscellaneous things in here. This is an old gauge cluster from a 1 through 3, 61 through 63 Lincoln. And it now has a light in it. And at night, my wife has used these things forever. What's pretty cool is it's on a timer. And of course you can't see it now because it's not dark, but it'll automatically turn on and then turn off, and you can do flashing lights and all that different stuff. But it's battery fed and it'll last a while. That's something I did. I polished this up with the quadruple zero steel wool and some of the Brasso. And it just sits in there. I got it for super cheap. On the left is a 65 ad. This is the Danny Michaels signed by the band album cover. There is another piece from Nick. I picked up a frame to put it in, and it wasn't big enough. Mob Steel, signed by everyone, all four. When the whole crew when those guys were all there. A couple things. You saw this a second ago. This is from 1964, the meet in New York, Cooperstown, August 64. So that's something that I've acquired. My buddy was here recently from All About Los Angeles. He works at Disneyland. And I forgot I had this. He was blown away. I sent him a photo. In 67, they had a meet at Disneyland. How cool is that? Just a couple die cast. Of course, that's an original 64 model. And I've recently moved some of this stuff around, so like I said, it's not super organized, but there's a few things in there. My truck with my son, some stamps, the grassy. This is stuff that came from the 6th floor school book depository, which is the 6th floor museum now. And I'm not a stamp collector, so to speak, but I have acquired, which I think I moved them recently. You see this one here has Lincoln. I usually buy any stamps if I can get them with Lincoln or JFK on them. And then there's some of the books down there that I have. That one that I shared that some people get offended because it's recreated in Lego. I don't know why, but then I've got some pieces of literature here. And this is a mess. Some of my mini truck stuff, rad. Different things. I got Stinkin' Lincoln's card there. Some Back to the Future stuff. Some of this stuff is just kind of in flux right now. You used to be able to buy those at Walmart. A couple things. Of course, Entourage. You got the 65 on the cover, which is the car. You got the JFK movie from the early 90s, 91, I think. And then the last thing I'll show you, I picked this up at the Turkey Rod Run. You don't typically see Lincoln stuff. Sometimes you'll see this older stuff, and I need to frame that. But there's just a few things I wanted to show you. This was one of my favorite toys as a kid, and I have the original one, but of course it's well played with and pretty much not much left with it. But I did purchase that a year ago when that came back out, a 64 original box with that I showed you. And then these came out and they were around $30. I got this one for $20, and then I went back several weeks later and I was able to get this one marked down all the way to $7.50. And then there's an OG. Alrighty. Thanks for all the support. More to come, 2022, y'all.
Will be Motordom's symbol of quality, an automobile and a tradition.